motherfucking TV.
All right, Javar, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. What's going on?
Can you tell them who you rocking with today?
Man, we rocking with Street Sauce TV, man.
All right, Javar, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm feeling good.
So we're gonna get right into it. How long you been in the music industry?
Man, I moved to Atlanta in 2013, so I would say I've been in the music industry since then, but like making money, getting like records out, placements, charting around like 2018.
So it took 5 years to like kind of get in that groove of like figuring out what's going on.
Yeah, took a while. It took a while, yeah. But you know, when you're having fun, you don't notice. So.
Were you making music and stuff before you moved to Atlanta?
Yeah, I was always making music. I've been making music since a kid. I was a rapper, and I was in college, and you know, just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do with my life, and you know, it's just one thing led to another, and I'm here.
So did you end up graduating college?
Yeah, I graduated from Lane College. It's a small private Christian college in Jackson, Tennessee. It's the first privately owned black college in America, so it's pretty big deal.
So is it a HBCU?
Yeah, it's a HBCU.
Okay. Are you from Tennessee?
Well, I grew up in Tennessee, mainly Memphis, but I was born in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Okay, you was born in Little Rock?
Yep.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So did you grow, you said you grew up?
In Memphis.
You grew up in Memphis?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
You know, it's different now than it was when I grew up, but it's the same shit.
So did growing up in Memphis have anything to do with you working with Bag?
Yeah, actually, I mean, really, it was more so Lane College because I met one of my best friends, my brother, Tennessee Trey, and he made a few connections for me, and.
So who was Tennessee Trey?
He one of the members. He one of my guys. He is me.
A artist, a producer.
He was rap when we first started out. He was rapping, but now he on the executive side. He helped run Varsity Team Productions with me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did see a little bit about the Varsity Team Productions. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, you know, I started to realize that I possessed a certain set of skills, and those was transferable, and I could teach other people. So I started to sign producers, and you know, it went very well. I got my guy Soul Sounds. He tearing the shit up. We got Levels out of New York, Ukrainian kid, young. He tearing it up. We got my boy Cloud, BMF Royalty. He tearing it up, and you know, we just put these kids together, and these are all young. They super young, and they just hungry. Varsity team.
Tell me about signing a producer. How does that work?
I mean, it works just as it sounds. I get around them and I like them, and I say, yo, come on. And from there, I can take your beats and get them to whatever artist you want to work with.
Okay. So you kind of, but you still make beats. You kind of like overseeing the management of that, but you still make beats and get your placements out there as well. But
for sure,
if you were to sign somebody, they would have a greater chance of get in place. Oh,
for sure. We're gonna get you some placements. That's what we're gonna do. My main thing though is teaching them how to make hits, because placements and hits are totally different. So you can get placements till the cows come home, but you really want a hit record. That's what you want.
Okay, so give me some sauce on how to make a hit record.
That is deep. The sauce making a hit record is capturing a moment, capturing an emotion, capturing a feel, and conveying a message that's relatable to people with the right groove, the right rhythm, the right chords. It's like a hit is lightning in a bottle. It's not something that is like, you know, easily made. You know, it's very few people that got more than 10 hits. We talking about hit records, songs that have charted Billboard top 20. I consider the music world considers top 40 Billboard a hit. I consider top 20. No shade to the top 40, but I say once you crack that top 20, that's a hit. You got one of the top 20 songs in America. You got to think it's millions of songs out there. So if you want a hit, you need to crack that top 20.
What was your first one to crack the top 20?
Wockesha.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about making that one. Did you know it was that when you made it?
Man, that's a funny story. Wockesha came about you know, I had been trying to get Bag to do sample records for a long time, and I think he just wasn't ready. So when he started the A Gangsta's Pain album, all of a sudden he was like, yo, I want you to flip this. He had me doing a lot of chops and shit. And we would just be sitting in the studio, and I would be on YouTube finding samples, chopping them up. And one day he had me in there, bro, we was in there for like 8 hours just chopping samples. And it was me, YC, Red, and who else was in there? All the members, the whole Bread Gang. Shout out the whole Bread Gang. Everybody was in there. And matter of fact, he had a show or a club appearance or some shit. So we in there constantly chopping up samples, And he would get to the point where he would be like, we'll be damn near done with the beat, and he'll be like, and Bag funny, he got this little thing he'll do. It's like, he's not loud about it. He'll just be like, go the other way. And we all look like, huh? You know what I'm saying? So by the time I got to the sample, the Ashanti sample, I was already burnt out. I was ready to go. My girl was calling me. I was really, like I said, burnt out for the night. I started chopping. I looked at my boy Scott Diddy. Shout out Scott Diddy. I looked at him before I even started chopping. I was running through samples. He looked at me like, ooh. I was like, bet. Okay, somebody, because at that point everybody burnt out, right? I'm like, all right, somebody here is in the building. I started chopping that motherfucker, but again, I'm burnt. So I'm low key on some self-destruct shit too though. I'm like, I'm about to chop this shit up and just get up. And YC about to have to figure this shit out. And YC tells a whole nother story. That's the funniest shit. He was like, bro, pull up on Javar, bro. And it's funny because I say, bro, YC saved it because I didn't know what the fuck to do. But as soon as I got up and YC hit that, he started the hat top sort of setup. I was like, aha. And even then I didn't know. We working on the beat, and there was one thing that let me know. Red, the other producer, shout out my nigga Real Red. He on there, he doing the 808, and you know as producers, you starting and stopping the beat, starting and stopping. Bag is getting a haircut in like the little lounge in the main room. He running there with the cape still on, like, hey, no, bro, like, doom, the turnaround that's on there. And Red, we all looked at him like, huh? Because it was out of nowhere. I honestly didn't even know what he was talking about. He was like, bro, the Bag don't know instruments, no shit. So we was like, the bass, bro, like, like, oh, Red did it, and then boom, that was that. You know what I'm saying?
You talking about the bass that people hear in the song?
Yeah, like in the song. Yeah, shout out to Bag. Bag actually, you know, tailored that for his pocket. And shit, one thing led to another. Motherfucker was out of here. But it was still, like I said, I didn't know because, well, I'll say this, Bag, before we even started, the reason why it was taking so long, Bag had like a little piece of the song. Can't Keep My Mind Off Wockesha and some other shit. He was mumbling, and he gave us that to build the beat around. So I knew normally when he does that, he knows like this song gonna make it. And I got a call from Red, and Red was like, hey bro, we got the hardest record on the album. Like, you think so? He was like, no doubt. And he was, Real Red was right, he predicted.
So y'all didn't finish the record that night?
The beat got finished.
Okay.
The beat got finished, and then Bag went in.
The beat just got finished, and y'all went home. Like, that was it. Like, none more of it. Y'all
came back the next,
another hard day at work.
Came back the next day and worked on some other shit. Bag is very methodical. He very methodical. I give him that. He not one of them rappers that are going there, rap, songs come out. Nah, he knows the records. He has like ideas, like a bunch of ideas, whether they're song titles, whether it's like little snippets of verses. Man, he sent me a little motherfucking voice memo of him mumbling like just the pocket of how he want, you know what I'm saying? Like that's him.
So will he be one of your favorite artists to work with? For
sure, that's my brother, man. Like Bag that's my nigga. I tell him all the time, bro, you gotta show people how funny you is. This nigga is funny. Like a comedian type shit, like plenty jokes, full time. I be doing something out here, something like bald head. Like, bro, you checking nigga? Like he one of them type of niggas. Like he got jokes the whole time. So yeah, definitely Bag one of my favorite people to work with, for sure.
So getting here in 2013, like what kept you going? You was making money off the music when you first got here? Like
nah,
it was a lot
I had Man, I had a vision from God one morning, and it was like, yo, move to Atlanta. I was staying with my mom, and she had to downsize.
Where was you staying with her at?
In right outside of Memphis, on the outskirts in Mississippi, in South Haven.
Okay.
But it's like Memphis. You know what I'm saying? You won't even know you in South. Well, you would know because the police out there totally different. But I just had a vision from God. It was the clearest vision I've ever had, and I told this story to people that know me. It was like, yo, sell your car, sell everything you got, move to Atlanta. And I did. I sold everything. I sold everything I had, my clothes, my TV, everything. Called my nigga AR, Automatic Ray. He a battle rapper too. He be fucking up shit. This is my childhood friend though. You know, shout out him. You can catch his battles everywhere, Smack, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I called him, hey bro, you got a crib in the car? He like, yeah. I was like, bro, I just sold everything. I'm about to move to Atlanta. He like, come on. So I'm about to do this music shit. You doing it with me? Cause he nice with the pen. He nice. So he's like, let's do it. I moved down there, and I'm telling the story for a reason. I moved down there. Now this nigga tells me he has a car and a home. He has neither. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying, now we're kids. We like 23. We young though. It's all this bitch shit. Like, nigga, you don't own shit, bro. You got me at the bitch crib on the fucking floor. Whatever. But before I moved, I had got smart. Like I started to develop strategies. Like, you gotta have some type of strategy. So I would go on WorldStar, right? That was when WorldStar, the website, was huge. And I would look for the dope boys who was posting little videos and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, trying to get on rapping. But I was doing that because I knew if they were street niggas in the streets, they had a little paper to at least get a nigga 500, 250, something for the beats. So I reached out to somebody. Who was it? Tobias Tate. I seen him, you know what I'm saying? Reached out to him, and his manager hit me back. My nigga PJ, shout out PJ. And PJ was like, you know, he got a little shit going on. I want to put you with my other guy. You know what I'm saying? This a real legend out here. He really known. He do his shit whoop de whoop. And it wound up being my nigga Rico Richie. You know what I'm saying? And shout out Rico Richie. And I'm on the phone with him right before I moved, like maybe like a week. He's like, yo, just come out here, man. I'm building the studio whoop de whoop. I come out there. When I come, of course, like I told you, my nigga ain't got shit. My nigga Rico, he had a studio, he real rich in real life, you know what I'm saying? He had everything. And shout out to him, cause I met Dame Doja, one of my brothers, and then I met, it was so many people I was meeting, and then shout out my nigga Cloud, he in this motherfucker with me. His pops and my brother is locked up. His pops is Ills from BMF, you know what I'm saying? One of the main, you know what I'm saying, big dogs. Do your homework. Do your homework. And, you know, Ills just really, you know, helped and guided me, you know what I'm saying? Cause he ran these Atlanta streets, and not like random, no, like he ran them, like nigga ran them. So he put me with a lot of the right people, and he put me with his son who would later become, you know, my best friend, my brother, you know what I'm saying? And them niggas went on and did whatever, and we went on and did whatever, and from there, it was never a moment to quit, because like I said, I met the right people. I met Rico, and Rico had a hit. If he ain't got no haters, he ain't popping. He had some circumstances that came up I won't get into, but he had some circumstances come up that sort of prevented him from being an artist, because, you know, he was living a real life. You know what I'm saying? That other shit niggas was rapping about, you know what I'm saying? He was, you know what I'm saying, that real life shit. So he couldn't push for it, but through him, I met a lot of other people, because he was one of them guys. So I met a lot of niggas. I met my nigga Draco, shout out Draco, 100 Gang, you know what I'm saying? Rep the 100 Gang, still rep 100 Gang. So it was just a lot of people I knew I was always this close. You know what I'm saying? Then once I met Antonio Reed, L.A. Reed's son, my big homie, my mentor, I knew I was too close. You know what I'm saying? Because he was, at that point, first session I had with him, he was like, hey man, don't be starstruck, nigga, because we gonna be with them niggas. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta play the part and be one of them and fit in. If you all in there with the starry eyes, motherfuckers know you ain't one of them. you got to go in there with that Kobe shit on you. And he coached me, and from there I was off to the races.
All right, now can you speak a little bit more about like having the star eyes and then being more like Kobe in the sense of just knowing you're supposed to be there?
Yeah, like, you know.
How long does it take for that type of swag to develop?
You either got it or you don't. Like for me, once he told me that, I straightened up immediately. Cause it was like, yeah, nigga, you right, I belong. And not only do I belong, my mama back home, she need me, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, nigga, I'ma fight claw, tooth, and nail with everything I got, cause I ain't got no other option. So it's like, and I want this. I want to be the best. I want niggas, you know what I'm saying, to know my records. I want to perform or have my records performed in front of 40,000 people, and, you know what I'm saying, at the Super Bowl and win Grammys and have #1s. Like, I wanted that, and I still do. So, that starry out shit got that out the window fast. I seen past that quickly. Fuck y'all, I'm one of y'all. No disrespect to nobody.
So talk to me about working with Wiz Khalifa.
Funny thing is, so I got 2 records with Wiz. I got the one that just dropped on his project, what, Metaverse? And then I got the one I dropped on Rolling Papers. I never worked with Wiz, never met him. Shout out my nigga TM88 from 808 Mafia. You know what I'm saying? He also was like a mentor of sorts. Because
okay, so tell the folks about TM88 for people who don't know who that is in like the producer community.
One of the greatest to ever do it. TM88 at 808 Mafia. The reason we do a lot of the things we do in the production world. And I mean, if you don't know, do your homework. I don't even have time to explain TM88. Like, do your homework. 808 Mafia, Future, Uzi, Wiz. I mean, literally, like, the guy, you know what I'm saying? And I met him through Rico Richie, you know what I'm saying? And this was a time I could speak about this, because this is, you know, this is a humbling time. It was a humbling time for everybody. When I met him, you know what I'm saying, TM, and I'm telling this story because, and I hope TM don't get mad, but the young producers need to hear this. When I met TM, he had when you make it from the bottom, you the chosen one. That already scraped him. You feel me? He was already, And I think either Danny Glover dropped or was about to drop, right? But I see him, and it's TM88. Come on, man. The hair, you know it's him. He got the fucking, the joint, the shit, the wicks, but they together and they like blue or whatever. Bright watch, icy. And I see him, I'm like, oh shit, TM. And, you know, I got in fan mode. This was before I met Antonio. I got in fan mode. And I could tell he was a little disgruntled. You know what I'm saying? He just, I didn't understand the music business. At that time, yeah, and this is fucked up really, because, man, them niggas probably diamond in the mixtape game. If you really think about it, them niggas, like, the influence, the amount of records, but they don't get tallied up because it was the mixtape. We don't know how many mixtapes got sold. We don't know the real level of reach that those mixtapes had. So, and they didn't make any money. Well, somebody made some money, but it wasn't the producers. Us, whoever did mixtapes didn't get any back end. So he wasn't up, you know what I'm saying? But again, he's TM at this point. And, you know, we had some real conversations, and I came to know him because we were sleeping in the studio, in the trap, nigga, on the couches, nigga. This TM88, you know what I'm saying? And he was just always super cool. And a couple years later, you know, that shit happened at the spot, everybody sort of dispersed. I seen him at this other spot, and he came in, and I was like, yo, he was like, my motherfucking nigga, and we chopped it up, and XO Tour Life had just dropped, and I was like, damn, nigga. But even before XO Tour Life had dropped, he had just bought a crib, a fucking mansion, nigga, you know what I'm saying? But XO Tour Life dropped, he come to the studio, and he like, hey, bruh, I'm just congratulating him and shit, you know, like, I'm proud, like, that's a person I fuck with hard body. And he like, bro, you next, bro. He was like, don't forget, nigga, we was in the trenches, nigga. And when he said that that touched me in a whole nother way, because he didn't have to say that. Like, he could have been like, Javar, good to see you, whoop-de-whoop. He was like, nah, bro, I'm telling you, same shit gonna happen for you, bro. I promise you. You got that in you. And whether he was gassing me or not, it was true. So that always really stuck to me. Then I pulled up at his crib because I was with Antonio. We was trying to get him to do a deal with his pops for the 808 Mafia album, and trying to sign Juice WRLD. It was a lot. This was before Juice WRLD was through the roof. Before he did the deal with Interscope. So we went to TM house, and I'll never forget, we pulling it, because TM got a crazy crib. Pulling up, and it's like a dirt road, like a dirt road. Calling like, hey, this the right shit, bro? And finally he like, yeah, you finally get to the end of the shit. And I swear, that man came out the door like an episode of MTV Cribs. I'm like, what the fuck? And it just, that made me feel so good, because, like, again, when I met him, he was huge. You feel me? He had hits. Because of the way the music industry was structured, he wasn't fairly compensated. So to see him, and technically he still ain't fairly compensated. He'll probably never get fairly compensated. But to see him in that light, damn near diamond, or I think XO Twilight maybe diamond. I mean, like, it's fucking TM88. But I always got love for him. Like, but he's the one who put me on the Wiz Khalifa album. We was cooking up, and he just called me one day and was like, hey, you got one with Wiz. I'm like, damn, man. He was so nonchalant. I'm just like, thank you, bro. Thank you. Like, no, don't worry about it. We gonna get them to pay me my rate too. I'm like, bet, nigga. So just super solid, busted down. Like they don't make niggas like TM, bro. I promise you.
So tell me about like you said that he was gonna get paid his rate.
Yeah.
Now I watched some interviews before about some producers, and then talk about like they need 50-50 splits on the song.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what's your rate?
It depends. Like, I be wanting 30s. I might want a dub. It depends on who the artist is. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like my young nigga Cloud, if he on the record with me, we doing my rate. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. Whoever got the highest rate, we gonna run with them. You know?
Okay.
That's
basically, whoever got the highest rate, and when you say your rate, it's like either you gonna get a 30, or you gonna get a 40, or you get a 50, whatever your rate is, like, as that's what it is. And then you get that, that's what you get all the time off top, period. Not all the time. No, that's unrealistic. You could be stiff like that, but a lot of artists don't have a budget, and a lot of artists don't have the resources. You know what I'm saying? So the label, it don't even be the artist sometimes. It be more the label really don't believe in the artist, and they may assign them. They like, you know what I'm saying? So they'll try to give you a little 3,500, 5,000. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, do you believe in the artist at that point? And sometimes I'll be like, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take the little 3,500 because I like the artist. So it really depends. It really depends. And I don't like leaving money on the table. Like, especially if I got a relationship with somebody, the A&R, the artist, I ain't gonna leave the money on the table. You know what I'm saying? I want to see everybody succeed. Now, it has been some cases where I be like, hell nah, I need my money, I need my rate. My rate is my rate. You know, but that's for the bigger artists. If you're a big artist with a bunch of jewelry and shit, and you buying all that designer, I need my money. And if you're an independent artist, if I see you're an independent artist and I see you got jewelry, drip, I need my money, bro. Because if you can go give Givenchy or Gucci or Louis Vuitton fucking $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, I can get that too. You know what I'm saying? That's a fucking shirt, a sweatsuit or whatever. Motherfucker, we talking about your career at this point. You feel what I'm saying? Like, how can you put a price on that? Do you believe in yourself? Because if you believe in yourself, you'll pay me. If you don't believe in this beat, then I suggest you go get a beat you believe in. But that's how I carry it. So what can you tell any producers that's coming up in Atlanta right now to like get a placement or try to make some moves that you made, how you got here? Or you feel like everybody path is different. My thing would be relationships is key. Keep your face clean. Don't chase nobody. Fuck with the people that fuck with you. You're gonna have
just like with dating the opposite sex, whether you're a man or a woman, because there are female producers, you got to go with who you're compatible with. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes we go off of looks, and we might date a woman for looks, and the bitch be crazy. You feel me? Excuse my language. But you got to go who you compatible with. So if you go in a room in the studio, and this has happened to me, some artists, and I won't get into detail, who I really wanted to work with, it just didn't work. And then sometimes I walk in with artists, and it's just open arms, and they love everything I do, and everything I play is bonkers, and I can do no wrong. And those are artists I'm compatible with. And that was something I had to learn. Don't chase people. Fuck with the people that fuck with you. You're gonna have a natural compatibility with certain individuals. Notice that, nurture those relationships. You know what I'm saying? Keep your face clean with everybody else. Be polite. Be available. That's my other thing. Be available, and you know, foster as many relationships as you can. Get as many relationships as you can. Relationships is the key in this music industry. I don't give a fuck how good you are at making beats. It doesn't matter. What matters is who you know and how much do they fuck with you.
So you prefer cooking up at home or cooking up in the studio?
It don't matter. I like cooking up at home. It depends. Like, I'm working on getting my own spot now, but if I got a studio where, you know, it's like free reign, I'm in there smoking, the gang in there, you know what I'm saying, and I'm able to vibe, and it's like my setting. If I want to stop playing music and I can fucking turn on the TV and watch something for 30 seconds or do something, then yeah, I prefer cooking up in the studio. But if it's not that type of vibe, I'll just cook up at the crib, because I can do that at the crib, you know. But that's either or, you know. It don't matter. I cook up anywhere, outside, on an airplane. It don't matter, in a car.
So do you have a manager right now, or you manage yourself?
I manage myself.
Okay. You always manage yourself?
No, at one point I had a manager, Antonio Reed Jr., and he's still, you know, I would say he's on the board of directors. You feel what I'm saying? He's more like that, more wise counsel. But yeah, as a producer, I just didn't need a manager. And I don't tell, well, I do tell producers, you don't need a manager as a producer unless you're getting really big, like maybe like a Tay Keith or somebody like that. You can learn this shit yourself, learn the business yourself. Now, some producers have terrible people skills, and that's understandable. But I strongly suggest you learn contracts, you learn negotiation skills, and you build these relationships yourself, because you don't know. Let's just say you got a manager, y'all been rocking for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, y'all fall out. But he handled everything. He handled all the business, all the relationships, all that. You don't know these people. You can't pick up the phone and call them or email them. So it's important to know this shit yourself. And you know, when you get to that level, yeah. And I'm not saying I'm not at the level where I need a manager again. And I might be coming up on that level pretty soon. So we'll see.
What's the biggest rap check you ever got?
The biggest rap check? Trying to think. The biggest rap check I ever got. I got a $100,000 back end check. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Shout out BMI.
That was like for the quarter?
Yeah.
Okay. Was that like eye opening? Would that make you feel different?
Yay and nay. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I was already you know, making money. So, you know, that might have been the biggest check, but I might have had another 40 coming in, another 30 here. So at that point, it's like, okay, this shit coming in, let me focus and let me like, this shit is real. I don't need to do nothing else but make beats and move around and email niggas and call people and DM people. And, you know, once you start getting these records, the rappers listen to music, so they gonna reach out, and then, you know what I'm saying, that's how I got with Bag. you know, my boy introduced me, but my boy was like, yo, he did For the Gang for Future. Once Bag was like, yo, he did For the Gang for Future, send him to the studio. It was over. Like, they was riding around listening to that for the past 2 weeks since they had dropped that point. You know what I'm saying? When I walked in, they was listening to it. They were just playing it. So it was like they was already fucking with what I was doing. You know? So yeah.
And then that's what you was talking about just making sure that it's genuine, like that. Yeah. Genuine, like they already fucking with me. I'm gonna play some shit. They gonna fuck with it, like.
Yeah. And Bag is real genuine toward me. That's like, from day one he been genuine, and we done bumped heads, but that's how I knew that was a real friend, a real brother, because we was able, and it wasn't nothing huge, but it just one of those things where you can see that, okay, this ain't just some industry shit, this my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he told me that. He like, bro, you my motherfucking nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even now, like, Bag got a bunch of producers signed to him. He don't gotta use me. He still call me, fly me out, bring me on the road, make sure I'm involved in everything. He'll call me and be like, hey, whoop, this going on? I'm just keeping you in the loop, fam. Like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he a busy ass nigga. Like, that man schedule is retarded, bro. I been with that man last month for a whole month. I was like, nah. Nah, I can't do that. This man, motherfuckers think they want to be a superstar. It's a lot. It's a lot that go with it, you know. But he wear it and handles it well.
So how is it like being behind the scenes, like on some stuff like that? Like when y'all you've been on tour?
I've done a few dates. Like, I can't do the tour life. It's cool. Like, it's what you into. Like, for me, that's not as exciting as it is to other people. Like, it can be fun, you know, but, you know, it's whatever. But it's crazy if that's what you're looking for. You know, it get wild. But surprisingly, Bag is a very business-oriented person. So it's like, he's all that crazy wild shit that motherfuckers be doing, he ain't on that. You know what I'm saying? He trying to make sure everybody's safe, got the money, get the bag, make sure everybody's safe, on to the next location.
So any artists you plan on working with this year?
Man, all the artists I listen to. I would love to work with a bunch of artists. I would love to work with Travis Scott. I would love to work with Roddy Ricch. I would love to work with Rod Wave. I would love to work with Youngboy, which I have a bunch of Youngboy records that just ain't released. You know what I'm saying? I would love to work with, who is somebody I like? I gotta think. Oh, I would love to work with Lil Baby. I'm not on this album he about to drop, but I love what he do. Da Baby.
You said you got some records with Youngboy.
Yeah.
So when you say like they ain't released yet, like you just can't do nothing. Like they might get released, they might not get released. Like the paperwork's already solidified with all that stuff.
Yo, wait. It's funny you say that. I don't think they ever get released. I don't think they ever get released. But you know, fingers crossed. You know.
Okay, so it's just business at the end of the day.
Yeah, nah. What happened was, one of the records we did paperwork. We did paperwork for this record. They paid us and everything. They paid me like $7 grand for this record, and it was me, Fuse, and my producer Soul Sounds. It never came out. It hurts, but it never. And this was like 2 years ago. Now this was 3 years ago because my daughter wasn't even born yet. So this was like 3 years ago. And but I was talking to my nigga, shout out Eli over there at APG, and we was talking about that. He was like, dude, man, Youngboy's recorded so many records, bro. He was just like, you know, it's a numbers game. And, you know, I've been in the studio with Youngboy. You know what I'm saying? We worked, like, did a record and everything. Just, you know.
So if you could tell people one thing about Youngboy in the studio, what is it about him? What makes him different? Like, what makes his music different? Like, how he records?
He a different dude for sure. It was one of the strangest sessions, but it was cool. He a cool ass nigga. It's funny because, like, at this time, like, okay, so first of all, I had actually like told Eli them I didn't want to do the session, and this is a behind the scenes story. Nobody don't know this. You know, him and Bag had sort of fell out, and out of nowhere, Eli reached out and was like, yo, young boy really wants you to come to the studio. He want to work with you. But I had already met him one time with my nigga Cloud Brother, my nigga Gino, Neff. We had went to the studio and he was really stiff. I don't know if he was in his mood, but he was in that young boy shit y'all see. So I was like to the point I walked in the room, tried to shake his hand, niggas just looked me up and down like, my nigga Sibo like, y'all just come on out here, man. He don't smoke. But, you know, I don't take shit like that personally. And then maybe like 2000, maybe like 2 years later, Eli calls me. And of course, young boy don't remember that shit. I knew he wouldn't remember that shit. But Eli calls me. He like, hey, the beat you been sending, young boy really likes him, and he wants you to come out here. He want to work with you. And when I thought about it, him and Bag was having a little bit of issues, and I was like, is this nigga trying to like, I ain't think he was trying to like set me up on some jump me or no shit like that, but like some chess moves, you know what I'm saying? Because at that point I was like, Dan or Bag, one of his, if not his go-to producers, one of his top 2-3 producers he was using. So I was like, I declined, you know what I'm saying? Which is kind of crazy when you think about it. I declined, and I just was like, fuck it, I ain't doing it. And then Eli, he kept calling me about it, and I finally told him, I was like, man, I just don't feel it. He was like, nah, man, it's nothing like that, Javar. I'm like, Eli, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? You don't fucking know. You gotta have a nigga in some shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You don't fucking know. And I'm a man. I can handle myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I'm also a businessman. I understand politics, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to do it. And I think a few months had went by, and somehow through conversation or something, or maybe I was with Bag and he was playing a young boy song, or somehow through some conversation, it wasn't no issue. You know what I'm saying? I came to that understanding. Bag don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So I think Eli may have called me about something else, and I was like, yo, do young boy still want to work? And he was like, yeah. I was like, set up the flight and all that, and shit. Maybe like a week later, I was in LA. I had a session with young boy. And it was cool, man. He was cool. It's funny, like, I always seen the memes like him being all stiff and shit. And he really liked it. He shook my hand stiff as a motherfucker, and he was cool. I mean, it was cool. He had his gang in there. You know what I'm saying? We were just smoking beats. He listened to the same beat that he did maybe for like, shit, at least an hour and a half on blast. I'm talking about full blare. I played a beat. He was like, that one. That motherfucker played for an hour and a half, to the point I was like, I'm gonna step outside, bro. You still listening to this?
Same beat was on loop?
Same beat. Same beat, bro. He was just there with a Yaya. They was just sitting in the corner. It was a big room, and there was like a little crevice with like a little couch area, and they was just sitting there chilling. And, you know, he didn't really say, he probably said a few sentences to me, keeping it real, that whole time. We was there for like 4 hours. And yeah.
So tell me one more thing about the industry. You feel like the industry fake?
It's a pig pork, man. Listen, it's a game, man. What do you like when people say fake and I do it? It's pretentious. Like I said, it's a pig pork. I do think the industry is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I got a partner, one of my best friends, and he could have been a superstar, but I think he was just, you know, he a genuine person. He a real person. He ain't come up, you know what I'm saying, in no fucking Brady Bunch life. So if you say something to him and you be like, yo, I fuck with you, my nigga, I love you, bro. He really think you mean that shit. Whereas I know I love you, bro. I know you really might not. You know what I'm saying? I know who love me. You know what I'm saying? Cause it wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, none of that feeling. So the music industry is fake. It's fake as you make it. You know what I'm saying? Fake it till you make it. So you just gotta know how to deal with people, bro. That's the main thing I tell people. Like, you know, it's about knowing how to deal with folks.
You feel like Lil Wayne a genuine guy?
Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
GOAT. I worked with him in the studio with him. Like, I think he's one of the most genuine guys. I was shocked. He was you gotta understand, Lil Wayne is arguably the greatest rapper of all time, and it's not even fucking close. Like, you got Jay, you got Pac, Big, M, Nas, you got, you know, Kanye. You throw names into the hat, but nobody rapped that good for that long on that many songs is Lil Wayne. I challenge you to pick anybody. Nobody did that, and I think his prison stint sort of fucked him up. And then, you know, when you're that great, it was like, if this was a race, Wayne was here and everybody else was here. I mean, at that point, you sort of just, it gets boring. But working with Wayne is probably my greatest experience in the studio, because I got to work with Lil Wayne. And he was so humble. The most humble nigga I've ever worked with.
Now, when you say humble, what you mean by that? Like, what's your definition of humble?
Meaning, like, first of all, it's only 2 artists I've ever worked with that when they walked in the room, it was like they weren't regular people. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't even say work, because the first one was Future. I didn't work with Future. I worked with Future, but in that session, I was just there with Bag. And it wasn't even a session. Bag just pulled up to fuck with him, and they was having like some real convo, but it was like superstar. Like, he wasn't a regular man. But Wayne was like just a superstar. Like, walked in, and it was just like, whoa. And he was, again, man, like every other artist you work with, they got egos. And you got to. You know what I'm saying? You got to embody that artist. And I guess from Wayne being Lil Wayne for so many years, he doesn't have that. So it was like, we walked in, and he was like, when he walked in, by the way, when we came to the studio, all his people, you know, he got a fucking team. First of all, we pulled up, nigga had 4 Cullinans out there. Them were his 4 Cullinans when they first dropped, all black. That, which led me to believe, yo, this nigga rides out in Cullins, like with the gang. Like, that's, most niggas got like Yukons and fucking Escalade. His fleet for the gang is some Cullinans. So that was the first I pulled up. I'm like, man, this nigga living different. We walked in, and he was like, shh, he's sleeping. They were all like, don't do anything, it's Wayne. So we like, oh shit. We go up there, and we just sitting there for like an hour, quiet as a church mouse. Nobody said nothing. Then I know where Wayne popped in the room. It's like, oh, the way he popped in through a back door we didn't even know it was a door, type shit. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, yo, what's good? He didn't know. That shit is real. Wayne doesn't know what the fuck is going on in all times. So he walked in the room, he was like, yo, it's God. He didn't even know who he was with the Loopholes. That's the production team I'm a part of. Shout out Stoney, shout out Bobby Keys, and my brothers. I made a lot of beats with them, and you know, the Loopholes. We do a lot of 2C, we did the Wayne shit, Bag, Future, Doug, you know, the whole gamut.
Y'all Loopholes.
The Loopholes. So Wayne walk in, and again, he doesn't even know who we are. So he's just like, yo, what's good, what's good, what's good? But he was still super nice, and he talking like, yeah. We like, yo, you got some? I don't smoke. So I'm like, hey, you got some weed? He was like, I don't have any weed. He brings my weed, my engineer. That's how he was starting. Like, he gets my weed. I don't know. You got some weed? And then he turned, he's like, I only got this shit for you. He was like, here, take it. He gave to us. Here, y'all have that. Gave us each a 7 apiece. I'm not exaggerating. It was me, Stoney, Bobby Keys, shout out, and London J, my brother. London J was with us, and London don't smoke, so he didn't care. But he gave us some weed, we smoked, and but it was funny. While he was giving us the weed, we was like, I forgot how it came up. I think his engineer said like, yo, these the Loopholes, and he was like, these the Loopholes. It's like, what the fuck? It's like, I thought y'all was one person. We was like, huh? He's like, I thought y'all was one person. I was like, yo, it's Wayne in the flesh. It's Lil Wayne now. True Lil Wayne shit. He thought we was one person. But he was about to play us some shit. Again, Wayne didn't even know who the fuck. I'm like, he didn't even know who the fuck we was. He was just about to play us some shit. And he stopped. He was like, he stopped his engineer. He was like, yo, I got so much shit to y'all beats. And he opened a folder, and I could see the song. And he just started playing them. And I was like, oh, unreal, nigga, to hear record after record of Lil Wayne spazzing on your shit. I could have cried, bro. Shout out Cortez. Cortez Bryant is one of, other than my nigga Tennessee Trey, the only person who has ever put me in a winning situation. A lot of people put you in some losing situations. The only people, Tennessee Trey and Cortez, that I could think of off the top of my head, I could be wrong. Antonio, shout out Antonio, he didn't put me in a lot of winning situations too. But Trey and Cortez didn't ask for anything. Nothing. Nothing. Trey never asked for nothing. Cortez never asked for anything, right? That nigga, when I met him, when I met Cortez, because that's how I got with Wayne. When I met Cortez, I met him at a bag show on the road, right? You know what I'm saying? And I introduced myself, whoop-de-whoop. He's like, yo, send me some beats. I didn't know who I was sending beats for. I'm thinking I'm sending beats for Drake. So he pulls me up. I sent him beats. He called me like, yo, come to the studio or the office. I come to the office. He like, yo, you got some fire. I'm gonna play you these records. This is funny too. He'll laugh about this. He started playing me Akbar V. I don't know if y'all familiar with her, but he like, yeah, my artist Akbar V. So I'm sitting there listening. I couldn't even listen to him because I'm like, I thought you were sending my shit to Drake. What the fuck is going on here? So I'm playing it cool. And he played one record that was hard though. I was like, damn, this shit hard. And then he was like, yeah, this is my artist. I'm about to sign a whoop-de-whoop. And then he's talking about her. We dap up. He like, yo, I need you. And I'm like, all right, I got you. When you want me to come to the studio? He's like, hey, I'm gonna set up a session for like tomorrow. You go in with Akbar. I'm like, bet. And as he walked me out, he's like, oh yeah, Wayne been killing your shit too. The shit I've been sending him. I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, Wayne been killing your shit. Yeah, I'm gonna link you. Yeah, y'all killing it. Yeah, killing it. But I need you at the studio tomorrow for Akbar V. I'm like, bruh, Wayne, right? But did that shit with Akbar V. Worked with Akbar V for like a year. Worked with whoever, you know what I'm saying? And I had forgot about that shit. And Cortez called me like, hey, Wayne been going in on your shit. I'm like, are you like pulling my leg? He like, nah, he wants y'all to fly to Miami. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And shit, he flew us out. I'm talking about first class, put us up. The Mandarin top floor suite, like laced us, treated us like kings, bruh. That's what I mean by humble. Like, he's the superstar. And when he seen that we was the loopholes, he was like, after all the dust settled, he plays the records. He was like, all right, so what we doing? And I was like, what are we, nigga, you're Lil Wayne. He was like, I'm following y'all. Y'all tell me what to do, man. What y'all need me, like, what y'all need me to do? Like, what y'all here? And when he said that, man, again, I could have cried, because it's like, yo, no artist has ever approached me like that. To just say, yo, what's in your head, bro? What can you make? Tell me. You're the producer. Most niggas be like, play beats, go in and just rap. Nah, Wayne was like, yo, let's make this record together. Let's come up with this shit together. Let's make records. And one of my greatest experiences of my music career was working with Lil Wayne. Probably my favorite.
All right, Javar, tell us who you rocking with.
We rocking with Street Sauce TV.
All right. Where can they find you at? Where can they find you at on Instagram?
At Javar said pick up the bag. At Varsity Team Productions. I'm about to get the YouTube channel popping. It's taking a little time, but I'm getting it together. And yeah, man, we working on a little bit of everything. Got some shit dropping with Bag, Tusi. Man, so many people I got shit coming out. Like I said, anything come out. Those unreleased Young Boy records.
You got some more stuff with Khaled?
Yeah, I've been talking to Khaled. We about to jump in and get to moving on some more shit. Yeah, shout out to Khaled. God Did album out right now. Produced, bills paid. Yeah.
All right, man. Appreciate you locking in with us.
Man, appreciate you. Thanks for having me, man. God bless.